Hello all and welcome back to Bradical Reviews. Today we review a game that so many of us have held close in our hearts for over 20 years. Whether it be racing on the easiest mode as a child to beat the game as fast as possible, or convincing your dad to play so you can finally beat him at something. Or heck, even possibly using this game as an excuse to drink in college by playing drunk Mario Kart. I'll be truthful with you all, Nintendo 64 and beer are a match made in heaven. Full disclaimer, please drink responsibly. Mario Kart on the Nintendo 64 is a family-friendly game that everyone can enjoy. And by everyone, I mean only if you're good. I'll be real with you all, if you are unskilled at video games, this game will drive you up a wall. No pun intended. Strap in and buckle your seatbelts. I'm about to give you a crash course on Mario Kart 64 in record time.
Welcome to Mario Kart!
The main menu of this game is simplistic and actually quite dummy-proof. My favorite feature are the icons used on the game type for how many players will be participating. When I was a kid, I couldn't read Arabic numerals and had no idea what the number 1 looked like, so I am fortunate that the developers clarified that 1 face meant 1 person was playing, 2 faces meant 2 people, 3 faces 3 people, and 4 faces 4 people. Like I said, dummy-proof. If I can figure it out, then anyone can. 1-player mode, you're restricted to Grand Prix, or time trials to practice on specific courses. 2-player has the most options, as you can still compete in the Grand Prix, face off in a head-to-head race, or the battle mode, by popping each other's balloons in a battle royale. More on that later. 3 and 4-player, you cannot do Grand Prix. You can only face off against each other in a race and in battle. Let's be honest, I'm a millennial. I don't have 3 friends to play with, so solo play it is. Selecting the 1-player, or 1-face mode, will allow you to choose the Grand Prix, which consists of 4 races and 8 racers to determine who will win the Gold Cup. 3 options are available: 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc. No, CC doesn't stand for carbon copy. We aren't sending emails. Kids these days, let me tell you. It's cubic centimeters. It's the volume of the engine. Higher CC, you go faster. Think of this as 50 being easy, 100 being normal, and 150 being hard mode. I'm going 50 because I don't want to embarrass myself on the internet. The player selection screen consists of 8 drivers commonly found in the Mario universe. First up we have Mario, of course, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Bowser, Wario, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi. Take a second to look at how often these characters blink. My conspiracy is Blinky from the Pac-Man universe has found a way to shapeshift and take on a new life. Either that or they are trying to signal for help in Morse code. Either way, this is truly terrifying, so let's move on. There are 16 courses in all, 4 cups consisting of 4 races each. Do the cups increase in difficulty? Absolutely. The special cup is certainly for special players, or at least I'd like to think so. Mushroom Cup consists of Luigi Raceway, the most basic of basic courses, Moo Moo Farms, is that a fat joke? Koopa Troopa Beach, even the crabs stand against you. The Calamari Desert, a nod to the Botswana fandom. Up next, we have the Flower Cup. Toad's Turnpike. Who needs exit ramps? Frappe Snowland. You're craving a Starbucks now, aren't you? Choco Mountain. A well-earned dessert after our Frappuccino. And Mario Raceway, the fitting sequel to the most basic of basic courses. Next, we have the Star Cup. Wario Stadium is proof that dirt bikes should have been in this game. Sherbet Land. What is with the frozen treat references? Royal Raceway. Be sure to check out the Super Mario 64 Castle and Bowser's Castle. The green thwomp in jail is named Marty. Fun fact. Next, we have the Special Cup, which is exactly what it sounds like. DK's Jungle Parkway is a vast jungle with apparently 0 wildlife. Yoshi Valley. I have no idea what place I'm in, and neither do you. Banshee Boardwalk, the most sadistic course in the entire franchise. And Rainbow Road. I really hope you don't have to pee during this race, otherwise you'll be suffering. Once you have chosen your cup, you will line up with the other drivers. The first race, you will always start in the 8th position as the computer thinks less of you. The subsequent races, you will start in the position you finished in the previous race. All the more reason to come in first and grab that front spot. There is one major advantage of starting behind someone, especially if they don't know how to use the initial boost. When Lakitu comes down to signal the start of the race, he will have a stoplight, top to bottom, red, red, blue. Whenever the second red light is fading is when you want to press and hold the A button. I slowed down the video so you could see about when you need to press the A button. They'll then launch forward and actually stun people in front of you if you hit them. And then off to the races you are. Items. These bad boys are what make Mario Kart Mario Kart. Many of these you'll find familiar from the original Mario Kart game on the SNES. You have mushrooms, which increases your acceleration, shells that are used as projectiles to hit other carts, bananas and fake item boxes that will slow any cart that collides with it. Superstar increases your speed and makes you invulnerable. Lightning, this will shrink others and allow you to flatten them when you collide. And Boo, who will also make you invulnerable and steal a random item from another player. To get an item, simply make contact with these rainbow polygon looking objects. Not sure if they are prisms or what, but in any case, depending what place you're in is what type of item you'll receive. First place you'll usually get shells, banana, a fake box, or a single mushroom. As seen here, I have one mushroom. I would highly suggest using the boost before you get to the next item, as you can only keep one item in your inventory at all times. My personal favorite item, when in first place, is the Boo. As we discussed before, this guy makes you invulnerable and steals another item. Watch here as I use the Boo and can quickly pass through this vehicle. Pretty neat, right? And I get this green shell as a reward as well. Personally, the single green shell is my favorite. People like the red shells because they lock on, or the 3 shell item as they spin around you and have 3 shots. Let me explain why the single green shell is overpowered. It is the only projectile you can fire backwards. Sure, you can lay bananas in the fake box down, but the green shell you can fire from your rear by holding back on the joystick when you release. Observe how Luigi falls victim to this. Ripperoni Luigi. The 3 shells are a great defensive item. 3 shells will spin around you and will offer some protection from other harmful items. Each shell can take 1 hit before they are consumed. Also, it makes it more difficult for other players to get around you as they will take a hit if your shells touch them. Another advantage of having these out is you can pick up another item, as these are considered not in your inventory but rather on the course. The banana peel is rather garbage, no pun intended. You can lay it down and other people can slip on them, or you can drag it behind you holding Z and will actually increase your field of view, which this is the much better option in my opinion. Another not so great item is the fake box. Like the banana peel, it can increase your view. It's good if you can lay it down in a patch of real item blocks, but typically no one falls for the fake item box because it's usually the isolated one sitting all by its lonesome. Usually just fire it behind me when someone gets too close and watch them flail in agony. Disclaimer on this one, I'm about to show you some of the items you get when you are losing. I absolutely suck at Banshee Boardwalk, which is where a handful of these clips are from. This level I had to repeat at least 6 times because I kept coming in 8th place. I hate this course, I hate the bats, I hate the falls, I hate the water, I hate this level, it's absolute garbage. That being said, let's get back to the items. The red shells are just an okay item. Same damage as green shells, but they do lock on to the target. Good for if you have bad aim, or if you're playing drunk Mario Kart. The next 2 items I'm showing you are very useful. Star Power increases your speed and makes you invulnerable, and also makes you able to wreck into other players. The only thing it doesn't stop you from doing is falling off the ledge, which I consistently kept doing and losing my Star Power in the process. The Super Mushroom lets you have an unlimited amount of boost for a small time period. Boosts suck on Banshee Boardwalk because of turns, but on wide open courses, smash that Z button and let her rip, Tater Chip. The Lightning Bolt is overpowered as well. It's essentially the only AoE item in the entire game. Use your Thor-like power to call down the thunder to stun and shrink your foes. Before we get into details on the last and most controversial item, I will introduce you to where it's most deadly. Multiplayer mode. 2, 3, and 4 player is definitely where the bulk of the game's fun lies. Mario Kart is ridiculously fun when played with friends and family. The game is definitely top tier multiplayer on any platform. The only games I can think of that could compete with Mario Kart in this aspect are Super Smash Bros., 007 GoldenEye, and maybe Mario Party to an extent. This game is played everywhere in every age group, and for good reason. It's generally easy to pick up. Quick to learn, but takes time to master. It's inoffensive, no language or violence. You can play it at Grandma's house while she knits. Or play it drinking beer with the boys while you scream obscenities. There is one major downfall of this game when playing multiplayer: the competitive nature. This game can cause some deep emotional scars. Your friends who beat you will taunt you and make you feel inferior in every other aspect of life, because at that moment, Mario Kart is life. And there is one item above all others that can change the course of the race in no time at all: the blue spiny shell. The blue spiny shell's genesis is in this game. This is the birthplace of this dreaded item that made its way into subsequent Mario Kart games. This item is available to anyone in 4th place to 8th place. It is the single rarest item in the entire game. The shell, when fired, will make a straight path to the person in 1st place, crushing any other player in its path. Once it hits the player in 1st, it can cause them to launch over obstacles and knocking them off the course. This can potentially cause a person cruising in 1st place to essentially be dropped down to the lower half of the standings, and there is nothing they can do about it, as avoiding the blue shell in the original Mario Kart is nearly impossible. Take for example this next scenario. I saw my friend had the blue shell and was about to use it. Thankfully he used the shell just before I entered into 1st place, even though I just hit Yoshi with the shell and was about to take 1st. Technically, since he fired the shell while I was still in 2nd, that shell was going to do anything in its power to hit Yoshi. Very unlucky for him, he was smoked twice within a matter of a second. Poor Yoshi. So who takes the cup? After each race, each racer will be awarded points depending on where they finish. Keep in mind, you can only receive points if you finish at least 4th place. Points are cumulative, and the racer with the most points at the end takes the gold cup. The person in 1st place will get 9 points, 2nd place gets 6 points, 3rd place 3 points, and 4th place gets a single point. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th get 0 points. There is no participation trophy in this league. After the 4th race of the cup, the scores are all added up. It's basic math, so there really can't be any arguing over who wins Mario Kart. The bigger the number, the better the cup. You'll be taken to Peach's castle over a gradient fuchsia skyline with budget fireworks and balloons being set off for the aesthetic enhancement of the ceremony. The racers, apparently bolted down to their carts, take their place on the pedestal according to which place they finish. A Cheep Cheep will spit out your trophy, and confetti stars will emanate. The trophy will appear over your head. Gold for 1st, silver for 2nd, and bronze for 3rd. I took 3rd this game. Like I said, Banshee Boardwalk can ruin a guy's life. The game will congratulate you if you took 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place. A job well done, racer. There is a much darker ending if you fail to finish in the top 3. Your character will show up for some reason. Instead of taking home a trophy, they depressingly pull off to the side, hopefully to go home and dwell on their failures. To add insult to injury, you are chased down by a yellow bob-omb, and the music transitions to a minor key, and you are blown sky high as if you've been struck by a landmine. The game will always insult you by saying what a pity, and show your character crying in shameful defeat. Better luck next time, kid. This game isn't for snowflakes. And that's all for the main game. There is one more mode that I thoroughly enjoy, however, and I think it's quite underrated: the Battle Mode. Battle Mode can be played with 2, 3, or 4 players, and also brings 4 new maps that are Battle Mode only. We have Big Donut, with lava filling. Should have been called Big Pizza Roll. Block Fort, which looks like a Lego project I made in 1st grade. Throw some colorful blocks side by side, add a few connecting pieces, and call it a day. Double Deck. I have no clue what's going on here. This map is amorphous and to this day have issues navigating these odd polygons. And Skyscraper. Don't worry, citizens below us, We have these handy balloons to gently take us if we fall down. Battle mode keeps the same simplicity as Grand Prix. It's quite easy to learn, and for the most part self-explanatory. Each player starts out with 3 balloons. They are colored in accordance to your character. For instance, Mario has red balloons and Yoshi has green balloons. The main way to destroy your opponent's balloons is to use items to hit them. The items are generally the same from the Grand Prix with some exceptions. There isn't any lightning for automatic hits on everyone, and also I don't believe there are any blue spiny shells. That being said, banana peels are actually quite lethal here, as they not only make you spin out of control, but also you'll lose a balloon. Finally, you actually have to take the banana serious. Stop smiling at me, you creep. You can also slam into another character if you are a higher weight class, and will cause the lighter weight to lose a balloon. That's a whole other subject about the stats and advantages of each driver. Generally, they are separated into 3 categories. Lightweight such as Toad, middleweight such as Mario, and heavyweight such as Bowser. Each class has their own advantages and disadvantages. Feel free to go online and check out some theory crafting if you want to be real hardcore. And that's it for Mario Kart. Hope you all learned a thing or two. And there you have it, folks, a simplistic overview of Mario Kart 64. And honestly, with this game, I don't even know where to begin. Just a wonderful game. It's a masterpiece, really. I could sing its praises for hours. First thing I could really give it a claim for is its character selection. I'm glad that they brought Toad back from the SNES. Probably a fan favorite there. He's a cool little guy. I really enjoyed playing him as well as Yoshi. The course selection, very good as well. I give that a big thumbs up. I think the developers did a pretty good job of incorporating different elements, and I liked how the characters corresponded to most of the courses there, and really gave it an overall good theme. And they had a lot of detail as well in these that we discussed in the video, like the green thwomp Marty, little Easter egg in there, and then such as Princess Raceway with Peach's Castle. You got to go and explore that area if you wanted to. And I think that's another part of it is I'm not a huge racing genre fan. Never have been. So they're okay, but I don't get excited for them. This game's a little different though. It seems a little more personal whenever you're playing. Even on one player, seems like there's a lot of emotion and frustration involved in this, but overall it's pretty good. They keep it simplistic to where you're not overly frustrated at the game. 2-player mode, obviously that's where most of the action is. I think that it's definitely top tier. I don't think that this game will ever go out of style in terms of people going back to play it. We actually have a bar where I live that has a Nintendo 64 with Mario Kart 64 hooked up throughout their business hours, and people can come and play as they please, and really attracts a lot of people. Like I said in the video, it's very simplistic. It's easy to learn. It is hard to master though. There's a lot of speedrunners out there who can really dominate the game. But for your average person playing with your friends, it's just an overall good experience. They have different modes you can do. It's not just racing. You can do the battle mode as well. This game has so much to offer for a wide amount of people, and I think that's why it was so successful. There's a sense of competitiveness in it, and people just really flock to that because it's overall pretty friendly in terms of its competitiveness. And I'm really happy that they keep making these games. Are very successful. They keep making them for a reason. I have played other Mario Kart games as well, and generally they are all pretty good. I actually have an unopened. I have not opened this one yet. Ooh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yeah, for the Switch. Probably gonna whip that out. This kind of inspired me to go play that, but I do want to continue making these Nintendo 64 videos. So overall, great game. Like I said, phenomenal game. I'm only gonna say a score of 10 out of 10 for very, very few games. This one got very close. So I'm gonna do kind of what Dave Portnoy does and give it a decimal. I'm gonna give this one a 9.3 repeating. Wonderful game. Really, the only critique I have of it probably is I wish at some points it were a little more difficult. Even at 150cc, it's still not that difficult to smoke everybody and get first place in all the races on each cup. So if I had one critique, that would be it. But I do want to end on a compliment. I think this game I wouldn't only recommend this game. I think it's a must-have for any true Nintendo 64 collection. It's a classic, and I'm glad I got to replay this game. It definitely won't be the last. I'll definitely play this for fun in the future. So, again, thank you guys for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon. And next game, I think I have an idea, but we'll see what happens. Peace, guys.